Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Breaking news coming out this morning that Francis Ngannou has inked a promotional deal with the PFL and he will make his PFL debut in 2024. Right, first of all, it's been labelled as he signed an exclusive global MMA strategic partnership, which basically means a promotional deal. However, the important facts of this is it is only an MMA deal. There's flexibility there. Now, the New York Times are reporting that the deal gives Ngannou equity and leadership roles in the PFL. He's expected to fight in the promotion's Super Fight pay-per-view division next year. That's fronted by Jake Paul. He agreed a deal with them where he's going to bring this PFL Super Fight pay-per-view division. I think it's going to be different weights, but there's going to be a heavyweight one. The deal is an MMA-only agreement, which I've just said. And apparently, there's still plans for him to box, which will be announced later on in the year. So a lot of people are looking at this thinking, well, that puts the boxing story to bed. He's not going to box. He's going to do MMA because they're not going to let him fight for another promotional outlet. That's wrong. This is an only MMA agreement and there's flexibility there. This is not a UFC type deal where you can only fight for the UFC and that's it. It doesn't matter what other sports you do. He will be able to box. I'm telling you now, and I firmly believe this, I've been saying this for the last year, that I still think he will box Tyson Fury this year. That's what I think. Now, people will be saying, well, Fury's going to fight Usyk. Let me tell you something. Fury isn't about legacy at this point, right? That's the fact. He just wants big money fights, and that's fair enough. I think the annoying thing for people is that he's trying to claim that people don't want to fight him, and Usyk's scared of him, and AJ's scared of him, and this and that. Well, we can all see what's going on. He just wants the biggest fight possible. Just like Tommy Fury, he's not interested in legacy. He wants the biggest fights possible. So you can't come out and say, we're Furies, we're fighting men, we want to be the best, we're the best on the planet, but then you fight YouTubers and MMA fighters. Do you know what I mean? So, look, they're just cashing in, right? It's frustrating. I'm still a Tyson Fury fan, but just call it for what it is. If I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. But I think it will be Ngannou next because if Saudi Arabia are saying, we'll give you, I don't know, 40 million or 50 million to fight Usyk, I don't believe it'll be 90 million or 100 million. I don't believe that for 1 minute. But just say if it is 50 million or 60 million, or say if it's even 70 million. So if they're giving them that deal, but he could fight Ngannou in England or in America for 50 million or in Saudi Arabia for 50 million. He's going to take that because it's an easy fight. It's just a complete mismatch. It's an absolute joke of a boxing match. Let's call a spade a spade. It's a joke of a boxing match. This Francis Ngannou is not a boxer. Right? He's got no pro boxing experience. Now, I know casual fans and maybe MMA fans who aren't boxing fans will be thinking, oh, he's got that much power. It's the baddest man on the planet, the hardest punches on the planet and all that. It's just nonsense. It's just a con job to take your money. That's all it is. It's not a competitive fight. It'll be 10 times easier for Tyson Fury than the Dillian Whyte fight. Okay, you've got to be careful when someone can bang, but Ngannou will gas out after 2-3 rounds. He's not a boxer. He's got power, but he's not a boxer. His body mechanics isn't of a boxer, right? He doesn't slip punches. He doesn't defend well, right? Yes, he's got decent boxing technique to a degree, but when you're saying you're going to fight the best in the world, and Tyson Fury, one of the best heavyweight in the world, it's a nonsense. It's a joke. So Tyson Fury is going to take that because it's easy money. Even if it's 20 million less than Usyk, it's just an easy day at the office, and Tyson Fury wants big money and it's risk and reward. I don't agree with it. I can't agree with it. I think it's a bad look for boxing, but it is what it is. And I firmly believe that we'll see Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou fight before Francis has this MMA, before he has his PFL debut. That's what I believe, because the debut wasn't until mid-2024. So that tells you there's plans on the horizon, isn't there? Now, okay, some people might say, well, they need to get this division started, this PFL Super Division, but he can still have a fight in the meantime. But it tells you he's got something going on in the background. And what Usyk's saying, he came out the other day saying the fight isn't agreed in December with Tyson and the Saudis. It's not agreed yet. And Tyson's come out and said there was no talk. He's sort of keeping himself away from it at the moment. And I've just got this niggly feeling he wants this Ngannou fight. I've said it and I've said it and I've said it. And if you just look at what's going on here, he's going to have a boxing match in Ngannou. Who is he going to fight? Deontay Wilder? Okay, fine, but he's going to fight AJ in December. That fight looks like that's going to happen, right? Who else is he going to fight? No, he wants the big money. There's no other fight in that division apart from Tyson, Anthony Joshua and Wilder where people are going to pay the big money. Tyson's, he'll be billed as the ex-UFC champion who never lost his belt against the best heavyweight in boxing. It's just shite, right? But that's what I believe is going to happen next. What do I think about him signing with the PFL and Ngannou? Who's going to fight? They were good. To be fair, I've got a lot of time for the PFL. They pay the fighters. They're a professional outlet. They've got good young stars. I still think they should sign Lewis McGrillen, one of the best young prospects in the world. I'm going to do a video of him over this week or next week. I'm telling you, he lives in my neck of the woods. The next Conor McGregor, right? They have to sign him. He fought his debut a few months ago and just knocked his opponent out with a left hand. Just exactly like McGregor, his left hand just puts people to sleep. Just puts people stone cold to sleep, right? But they've got good fighters there, and they give options to the fighters. Brendan Loughnane, look what they've done with him. Changed that guy's life. Again, Brendan's from my neck of the woods. So you've got to respect what they're doing. In regards to MMA legacy, it's got to be the John Jones fight. That's the fight we want to see. People always say MMA doesn't have politics. Well, they can't get this fight over the line, can they? Don't tell me that's nothing to do with politics. Of course it is. It's to do with contracts and who wants what and who wants this and that. Right? So I don't really know who's going to fight in the PFL. I don't know if they're going to get ex-UFC fighters in this division. I don't know. But, Jake Paul's going to be involved. There's going to be a big push with it. Jake Paul is a promoter. I'm all in for him being a promoter. Why not? He's got a big following. The boxing and all that, and when he's talking about being a world champion and all that crap, I just switch off. It's nonsense. But as a promoter, I'm all for having different promoters in the game. I think we need new blood in the game. Right, so I'm all for it. But I don't know who's going to fight. But really, the main takeaway of this tells you if it's Tyson Fury or not, he's going to have a boxing match. And it says, the New York Times are reporting that he's going to have a boxing match this year, basically. So yeah, it is what it is. It's just... It's not going to be great though when it gets announced, Tyson and Ngannou. But the casual fans will lap it up. They'll lap it up. Just like they did with Conor and Floyd, We've been here. We've seen it before. Fool me once and all that. Fool me twice. You're going to be conned again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, this is going to be rammed down our throats. We will see Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou in a boxing ring, in half a cage in a boxing ring with MMA gloves, whatever it is, it will be a boxing match. That's what I'm convinced of. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think it's a good move for Francis Ngannou? Do you want to see him in boxing? Do you want to see him face Tyson Fury? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.